broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Welcome to Awesome Scores. I have this as just an informational video. It's actually a webinar that I'm recording right now. So the reason I wanted to do that was I wanted to show you what it sounds like to be involved with the webinar, what it looks like. Everything that's on my screen you see at your home when we're doing the webinars. So this is how we do ACT prep, okay? I'll just take you through some of the things we do. I want to try to make it clear the type of things we do and how we can help you get a better ACT score. So my name's Dave Bobbitt. I teach all the classes. I used to be a algebra tutor, and one of my students needed some help with the ACT. This is back in 2007. And I was doing everything online, and I decided to take my emphasis into ACT. And at first I was just doing math because I was a math major in college, but then I decided that science was actually my best score. So I started doing the other subjects, and it's been very successful. So now we're going and making it available for everyone. So I used to be a principal at a charter school in Little Rock, and one of my goals was to make this easy and to make it affordable and to make it effective. So I worked on all those things, and now we're ready to take it live. So just wanted to kind of tell you what we do, how we do it, and answer some questions. So this particular webinar is a recorded webinar, and it won't be live, but I do live webinars where you can ask questions as well. Okay, so let's get started. Basically, we look at 5 areas of concern. Okay, when we're trying to attack how to get you ready for the ACT. We want to break it down, and we want to make sure that you understand what the ACT is, what it's not, how it's formatted, all that kind of thing. We do a lot of that because the ACT is very predictable. So I look at it like I'm trying to get my students ready for a football game on Friday night. And since it's predictable, it'd be like I was setting the defense up when I knew what the offense was the plays they were going to run. So that's the way we look at it. Then we break down each subject individually. Okay, after we talk about ACT and how those strategies, general test taking strategies, then we'll go into math, and then we'll do science, we do English, and we do reading. So that's our main concern, is to give you an idea of what's going on in the ACT, and then break down each subject individually so we can talk about strategies and examples of questions and how to get a better score in each particular subject. This is one of my favorite quotes from Albert Einstein, and it says, "If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough." That is my idea when I come to teach this class, is to make it as simple as I possibly can, because there's no sense in making it confusing. We try to keep it really simple so everybody can understand the best way to get a better score on the test. So what is the ACT? Let's just talk about that for just a second. It is a college entrance test, and it determines how much of your high school education you remember. So it's really not an intelligence test at all. Okay, it's used to determine the scholarship, maybe what school you get into. We're going to talk about, in the class, we'll talk about all kinds of things about the ACT, what's a good score, those kind of things, okay? But the question you have right now is, how do you prepare for it, okay? Well, there's mental preparation, there's physical preparation, and then there's general test taking strategies. I go over all of those. We don't spend a lot of time on each particular one, but we spend time on each of them that just has to do with the ACT in general. Then we'll break it down. We'll talk about, each test contains 4 multiple choice tests. We'll talk about English, how long you have, how many questions there are. The same thing in math, reading, and science. And then it's in this order every time, so we have some kind of predictability in the test. So that's one of the things we do in our class. We talk about that. What we do is we take different ways and techniques and talk about how to do better on each section of the test. For instance, this is something we go over in math. the order of operations. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally is what we used to call it. And we'll talk about that and how you do that. The main thing is it's something that you've already gone over, but we want you to be reminded of it because you may be a junior now and you did this in the 7th grade. So the whole idea behind my class is that we remind you, it's a reminder class, a refresher class. We're not trying to teach you every single thing that's going to be on the test. We're just saying, remember this, remember this. And we don't want you to miss the easy questions. So that's really there's a lot of ways to get ready for the ACT. You can spend one-on-one time with an instructor for 40 or 50 hours. And obviously you can spend a lot of money on ACT prep as well. This class is not that. This class is, we take 6 hours total. And I use 2 hours to talk about ACT and science. I take 2 hours that just math only. And then I take 2 hours divided between English and reading. And we do 3 different webinars that are live. Or you can have my recorded classes as well. So we'll talk about that later. What I wanted to do is I wanted to show you an example of how I might work a problem. This is a question off a retired ACT test, and it says the cost of a hamburger and a soft drink together is $2.10. The cost of 2 hamburgers and a soft drink together is $3.50. What's the cost of a soft drink? Okay, so what you have to do is you have to create variables for the hamburger and the drink. Okay, so we'll just say the hamburger is H and the drink is D. Okay, so the cost of a hamburger and drink together is $2.10. So we got a hamburger plus a drink equals $2.10. Then we have the cost of 2 hamburgers and a drink is $3.50. So we have 2 hamburgers and a drink equal $3.50. Now you remember that when you have 2 variables and you have 2 equations, you can subtract one from the other one and solve the equation, okay? So we're going to subtract this bottom equation from the top. So 2h minus h would be h, and then we get rid of these d's because d from d leaves nothing, okay? And that's what we're trying to do is get rid of a variable, okay? And then we subtract this, and 350 minus 210 would be $1.40. So a hamburger is $1.40, okay? Remember that here's an answer here that says $1.40. Remember that that's not the question. The question was not how much is a hamburger. The question is how much is a drink. So we go back into this one and we have a hamburger and a drink, which we now cost, and a drink equals $2.10. And we now know that this hamburger costs $1.40. So let's put that in there. $1.40 plus the drink equals $2.10. And we subtract $1.40 from both sides, and that'll give us the drink equals 70 cents. And there is the correct answer. So what I do, that's exactly how I would do my math class. I have a retired test. I start on question number 1. I read the question. I work it out. If you have any questions, you have a control panel, and you can ask the questions, and it'll flag my screen, and then I will answer the question for you, whatever you have. It's all live and interactive, and I may ask you to work a problem. So there's an example of math. In science, we'll talk about what kind of questions you're going to have. I really love our science section because it has some unique strategies that help. These are the passage types: data representation, research summary, and conflicting viewpoint. That's the kind of types you'll see on the science section, and we talk about how you can save time and not run out of time and do better on those. The English portion, we'll talk about grammar and punctuation and things, how to get a better score in English. These are not necessarily examples of it, but then we go into reading, how to manage your time, how to, not run out of time in the English, in the reading section and get a better score. So if you use these tools and strategies, your score will improve. Okay. So here's what we do. I want to go back because a lot of people would like to do this. They just don't know how, and they want some answers. So that's why this video is here. So let's go back and let's take a look at, let's just take a look at the website, okay, where you need to go. This is my dog, by the way. That's Addie. Let's go to my website. It's just awesomescores.com. Okay, awesomescores.com. This is what the website looks like. And so as we go through, we have, these are my live and interactive classes. So I've got a 6-hour class. If you want to be involved in those, they're live. You'll have a control panel on your screen, and you'll see what's ever on my screen at your house. So I'm at my place and you're at your house at the safety and comfort of your home, and you'll be able to watch that live. We normally do that the weekend before the test, okay? And we'll talk about that schedule in just a second. Or you can do the pre-recorded ACT class, which is a recorded version of my webinar. We used to do 8 hours, so it's actually 8 hours worth of help instead of 6. Because we have 2 math classes in there. It's 4 hours worth of math. If you wanted to do that, you just click on this button right here and you'd say enroll, and that's going to take you to PayPal. Okay, I'm not going to do that right now, but that would take you to PayPal, and you'd log in, and you would pay for this class at PayPal, and then automatically they email you something immediately. In that email, you'll have a link to each class, to the English class, the reading class, both math classes, and the science class. So you'd be able to, the beautiful part about that is you can do it anytime you want to, and you can watch it for 20 minutes and stop, or you can back up and watch it again if you have a question. It's not live, but it's only $49 as well, and you can use it anytime you want to. We just had a student in our last class that went from a 19 to a 24 just using the pre-recorded class. Very, very good results as far as that goes. And a lot of people use both. A lot of people want to be involved in the live class, but they want to use the recorded classes whenever they want to. So, so let's talk about the schedule, okay? If you want to be involved in the live class, it is limited to the number of people, but you can go in and register well ahead of time, okay? So you just click on schedule up here, right at the top of the website. My computer's kind of slow for some reason right now. And this is going to take us to a page where I have the next class, and then I have them scheduled out a little ways. So I don't know why my computer is so slow right now. I usually don't have an issue with that. There we go. Okay, so here's my schedule, my upcoming schedule. So in December of 2018, this would be the weekend before the December test, okay? My science class is December 1st at 10 a.m. That's a Saturday, okay? So it'll go 10 to 12. And then the next day, we do math, and that would be December the 2nd, and it's from 2 to 4. That's a Sunday from 2 to 4 in the afternoon. And I take a retired math class, and I just start working problems, and you ask questions, I ask you a few questions. It's live and interactive. And then we take a 2-hour break, and then at 6 o'clock on Sunday night, we do English and reading. Now, all these are set up the same way. When we do our January class, obviously it's different dates, but it'll still be doing Saturday 10 to noon and Sunday 2 to 4 and 6 to 8. And then again, we're scheduled all the way out into April right now. We just finished our October class. So we're finished there. Now, if you want to purchase one of these, all you do is click on this Buy Now button right here. It's going to take you straight to PayPal, and it'll know which class you want to buy. But because if you want the December class, you got to push this one. If you want the January class, you got to push the one under January. And then it's going to ask you for your name and your email address, and they're gonna register you for all 3 classes: the Saturday class, the Sunday afternoon, and the Sunday night class. And they're going to send you an email reminding you of it, and all you have to do is click on it and at the appropriate time. So usually about 5 or 10 minutes until the class starts, I'll log on and I'll do a video check and I'll do an audio check to make sure everybody can hear me okay and they can see my screen. And then we go on and we do the classes at that time. It's fantastic way to do it. Now, we didn't talk about cost on this. That's really one of the best things about the class is our live and interactive class. You get the whole 6 hours for $99. So you pay $99. And, if any of you have already been into checking out ACT prep classes, they're way more expensive than that. Even my class started out at $399. And I realized that I wanted more people involved in it, and I wanted to make it available for practically everybody. So it's $99 for the live class, and it's $49 for the pre-recorded class. Now, about questions, you can go to Contact Us page here and send me an email at any time, or just type in your question, and I'll answer it. But Dave at awesomescores.com is how you can get in touch with me. This 888-869-6284. That actually spells out 8888 my math. That number is a number that reaches me directly, and I'm happy to talk to people individually. And but this is a great way to be a refresher course for the class, and we're happy to make it available to people. And no matter where you are, literally you can be in any state and watch us at the same time. So it will feel like it's just me and you. It'll feel like I'm just talking to you. But in reality, there will be other people watching at the same time. And when you have a question, they may have the same question. So they may ask the question and I answer it. So, okay, I think that's an overview. I don't want to be too long and windy on this thing. But I would encourage you to take a look at this program and just sign up. And let's get you a better score. When we talk about what we think we can get students, it's really not what we think. We've seen students come to us. We had a student in October that had, she went from a 28 to a 32. And, these are extremely happy parents because even going from a 28 to a 30, or from a 19 to a 24, we have students going from a 21 to a 25, and that put them in a scholarship range. So there are 100 reasons why you want to get a better ACT score. And we feel like this is the easiest, the most inexpensive, and the most effective way to spend your time to get the better score. So take a look at what we got and get signed up, and I will see you in class. Okay, thanks for all your time.